All right, you got your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. And above all, protect yourself at all times. Give me a good, clean fight. Touch him up, come back out.
You got age, a dramatic age difference. 24 Bo Chuck, 40 Hernandez. Reach advantage is not much. Hernandez got a little half an inch reach advantage. But Bo Chuck does have height.
Yeah, just 1 inch taller, though.
Really?
Boachuk is used to being much taller than his opponents. Now he's in there with a grizzled veteran who can look him right in the eye.
Yeah, Bo Chuck can move up about 2 divisions eventually.
I remember you told me that our last broadcast, and I'm just looking at him. He just looks too flacco. He looks too thin, man.
But remember one thing about thin
Yeah.
guys. Thin guys have height. They can add weight on. Okay?
That's true. Listen,
Tommy Hearns was very thin
well,
and skinny.
Freddie Hernandez was a welterweight, and he looks well put together at 154 pounds, the junior middleweight division. And he's fought as heavy as middleweight and acquitted himself well. And Hernandez was skinny like Boachuk was 10
you
years
got Timmy
ago.
Austin, Milt McCory.
Right.
You have a lot of guys that have height. So with height, you can put on a reach advantage. Because the problem with boxing sometimes is when you're 5'6" or 5'7", you're not big enough to move up in weight. Okay? Remember David Tua?
Yeah.
He fought a heavyweight.
Well, he was a heavyweight,
He
so
was
you
a
didn't have to
small
worry
guy.
about going.
I think he was an inch bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but his legs were huge. His body was
Yeah.
huge. But he was too small to fight with Lennox Lewis and all these other guys.
Oh, that's true.
He was way too small. Yeah, Hernandez's punches look like they slow motion, the way he's throwing his shots a little bit. They look a little slow.
It takes him a while to warm up.
That's not good if you're fighting a guy.
Well, right,
like
a guy
Boachuk.
who's used to knocking dudes out in the first 3 rounds. And
He should warm up in the dressing room and then come out here sweaty. That's what
how
you do.
important is that?
Very important. It's the most important thing. I tell people it's like having a car. If you have your car, you don't get in your car and just slam on the gas. You warm it up properly, right? So you got to go.
And especially if it's an older car.
Yeah. Even newer car, you can blow the engine quick like
Right.
that too. Boachuk, is advancing right now. He's going forward. He's throwing a lot of punches. And Hernandez is trying to warm up. Not a good idea.
Boachuk's not putting hard pressure on him though. Not like we've seen against lesser opponents. So there's some respect there for the veteran coming from the Ukrainian.
Well, Boachuk trying to,
Although that
that's the
right
punch.
cross, that didn't have a whole lot of respect on it.
he's been trying to set that punch up
And there's another.
the whole fight. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw a double jab and throw that right hand. There go the jab. And I expect the right hand to come right after that. He'll do another jab, and then he's going to try to drop that right hand again.
2 things I want to note, and that is Hernandez does tend to cut.
There go the right hand again.
He's got some brittle, aged skin. And Boachuk has never fought past 5 rounds. So this fight will get interesting. If it passes 5 rounds, it'll be interesting to see how Boachuk acquits himself in rounds 6, 7, and 8. If we get there. All right, Kevin, who'd you score the opening round for? And
Boachuk,
why?
he was more active, pressing the action. Hernandez was, like you said, trying to warm up, and that didn't do him any good in that round. I gave it 10-9, Boachuk.
Yeah, I didn't see anything land from Hernandez of note. I mean, he threw a few punches, but yeah, he's just getting a feel. Getting a feel for the ring, getting warmed up, and also assessing Boachuk's style.
This is how boxing works, guys. The first round is you're trying to look at your opponent and see what he knows or what has he got, right? And the second round, now my corners told me what I need to do. So now we start implementing a plan. Now, if Hernandez got to warm up, okay, he's going to be behind the 8 ball. So you got to remember, it's a 10-9 round. He's down 1 point. If he loses the second round warming up, then he's going to be 2 points behind. So play catch up.
Round 2. Junior middleweights. Both men weighed in at 154 pounds. Both guys look good at the weigh-in. And I can tell Boachuk has put some weight on, as has Hernandez. Both guys definitely over the junior middleweight division. I would say, this is just eyeball test, I would say both guys are over 160 pounds.
Well, Boachuk is doing the same thing that he did last round. He's utilizing the jab, and he's trying to land an overhand right. And I tell you, it's simple but Hernandez has got to be alert and aware and stop stepping to his left. See, he's stepping into the right hand. When he steps left, he steps right into the right hand.
Now you would have Hernandez move to his right.
Exactly. Away from the right hand. Because watch, here it come again. Oh, you called it!
Right.
Wow.
Right when you said that.
I'm not a genius. Just
You just know boxing.
I think you're a genius.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, I get so excited when I see a knockdown. I can't help it.
I
That's
hope
just me.
you would.
Yeah, I know. I scare the sound people.
So
Yeah.
Hernandez needs to step to his right, not to his left. And Boachuk is using that jab to make him do it.
Hey, let me ask you this, Kevin.
Yeah.
Does Boachuk have an awkward rhythm or style to him?
Yes, he does. It's like he's trying to learn the American style, and it's weird. But let me tell you something.
Oh, that's American. That's actually Mexican style.
Yeah, that
left hook.
awkwardness.
Yeah, that left hook to the body.
That awkwardness that he has is helpful for him because he comes everything off the jab. You watch. He's very hard to hit. He has very good head movement, as you can see, and he's very hard to hit. So the big thing with Boachuk is Hernandez right now, the mistake that he's making, here it goes again. He's going to force that. He's going to force him to that. He's trying to that right hand. He's trying to force him to the right hand.
You know, you're right about Hernandez's punches. They do look really slow.
Yeah, it looks like he's fighting in slow motion.
Yeah, or underwater.
Yeah.
And it's like he's pushing. He's doing like a push tactic. He goes close and he pushes Boachuk. See, like right there. He's not really landing solid shots.
Yeah, he is trying to move his hands a little bit, and Boachuk is looking to counter him with both power hands, because Boachuk's got just as much power in his left hook as he does with his right cross.
Well, what I would tell Boachuk is you throw left hook, at least it to the right hand. So I'm saying, if you throw the right hook, right, this left hook,
The left hook and
he
then
drives him
follow
to the right hand.
Follow through well.
I like that jab to Hernandez's belly that Boachuk is firing.
Oh, it's very good. It distracts him. So Boachuk, sometimes to get a knockout, you got to act like you're not trying to knock the guy out.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can't alert him. It's like tell him, I'm trying to knock you out. So now what Boachuk's doing, going backwards, allowing Hernandez to go forward, is like, I'm not trying to knock you out. Everything's safe.
Well, you know, one of Serhii's biggest things about Hernandez is that he gets.
Don't just
he gets
dream it,
tired
drive it during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event going on now at Ocean Honda. Drive home a brand new Honda Accord for only $179 per month. So hurry in and save big during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event at Ocean Honda.
Here we take a look at the knockdown. As you can see right here, he throws that straight jab and that right hand right down the pipe, and that's what he's been trying to do all day.
Yeah.
And see right there, the jab.
Well, Hernandez threw a right hand and stepped forward, and he was squared up. His feet were parallel when he ate that right hand from Boachuk.
Also, he stepped to his left, where he stepped into the right hand.
As you pointed out, and I mean, you called it, that punch. You said he's going to run into the right hand, and right on cue, Boachuk let it go.
Everything is strategy in boxing, strategically placed. All I need is my opponent to be in the wrong place at the right time. That's why I need your cooperation. So if fighters could talk, I would need you to cooperate.
Round 2 of a scheduled 8-rounder. This is the main event of the 7th installment of Hollywood Fight Nights.
Boachuk, that jab he's got is lethal. He throws downstairs and upstairs. And I tell you, this is cooperation. Hernandez is cooperating with Boachuk. Okay, by giving him what he needs to be done.
What Boachuk is learning is to be more patient, a little bit more technical.
Yes.
And be smarter with what he's doing. Because I know he's always just going for the knockout, but he needs to be patient because this is a very tough test for him, for Boachuk. It's a veteran like this.
I see the poise. He's a different fighter.
You see, he's not
from when
rushing,
I first saw
yeah.
him. I first saw him fight probably under a Gennady Golovkin card, because both are.
Or at the time, Golovkin was trained by Abel
Yes.
Sanchez.
And Boachuk is still trained by Abel Sanchez, who's in the corner in this fight. I saw like a volume puncher, a pressure fighter volume puncher. People were calling him the Ukrainian Antonio Margarito. And that's exactly what he looked like 2 years ago, but he has changed.
He's changed a lot, and right now he's calmer, he's more patient. I like his body punches. He's got a very good jab. Hernandez is not putting the pressure I thought that he would put because, you know, you got them old legs. You know what I'm saying? You're 40 years old, and you need to be going forward, not backwards. That wears his legs totally out.
But he did tell me, even though people say I'm old and I may not have legs, he has experience. And what makes him a Mexican-style boxer, he said to me, he has heart and 2 balls. So that's what's going to bring him into this fight against Bohachuk.
Yeah, if those had gloves on them and they could punch, that would help him.
That's a good point. I'll tell you what, Bohachuk is zeroing in with right crosses and with
That'd
left
be
hooks.
helpful.
That's a good line. I'm going to have to use that.
Does it have gloves? He can say what he wants, right?
Right, yeah.
They don't throw no punches. They can get hit, though.
Yeah, they can.
Bohachuk is zeroing in with the right cross. He's landing it, and he's looking to set it up with other power punches when he's in close, mainly that left uppercut.
Yeah, like right now.
Oh,
like I
look at the face of Hernandez. It's
Oh, yeah.
already worse for
Starting, yeah.
wear. Yeah, it's looking raw.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't know if he's spilling blood yet, but it's probably coming.
Yeah, Bohachuk's consistency is causing that swelling, number one. And let me tell you something. He's trying to drive him into that right hand. There it goes again. His goal is to land that right hand. So he's doing everything in his power, keeping that jab going, and making him step to his left, Hernandez, and they're going to throw that right hand.
Hernandez is trying to provide some professional resistance, but it's taking quite a toll on his face.
Well, he's rushing in with his head. That's what Hernandez is doing now.
Bohachuk is loving it.
Yeah. This is his 5th time on Hollywood Fight Nights. He made his debut. This is the 2nd time he's the main event. And he sure loves it. I mean, he always says it's easy. Every interview I say, you know, how was it? He's like, it's just easy.
I think what he means is I put the work in. Up
Yeah,
in
I
Big
put the
Bear.
work
I
in, yeah.
work hard so the fights are easy.
It's easy.
That's
You know
true.
you know what I also do is he's also a chef. He cooks for Murat and Guido, like all the heavyweights, because they said if he doesn't cook, we won't eat.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm sure he knows what to eat himself.
Particularly after a weigh-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
but and he's smart about it.
He hasn't put on too much weight after the weigh-in, but
That
he's definitely put on
is
some weight.
the key after weighing 5, maybe 6, 7 pounds. Nothing,
Yeah.
not too heavy. Of course, it slows you down.
Of course.
Don't eat meat, certain meats. You have chicken. If you want to have a light, go fish, go light. You know, you want to be light in your stomach. You want your stomach digesting food. It slows you down.
True. Round 3 of a scheduled 8.
Thank you for everybody who's joining us.
Around the world.
We also have Box
Sorry,
Nation.
Did I
yeah.
just say I'm out?
round 4.
It's all right. It's like me
It's
saying
zipping.
Philly. I said Philly for
Zipping
Jonathan
by.
Banks. That's
Wait,
all right.
we're already at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Well, Flacco's looking good, but well, as I was saying, thank you to everybody who's joining us.
Fight
Oh.
fans from around the world.
Box
Yeah.
Nation is tuned in. This
Right,
is
so that's
from
the British
UK.
fans.
They're up. What time is it? It's 8 hours ahead. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
They're watching, trust me.
Oh, I know.
They stay up for boxing.
And if you guys also kind of shout out tomorrow is Doug Fisher's birthday.
Oh, stop.
Cynthia, come on.
Oh.
He's going to be 21 again.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm as old as Freddie. Me and Freddie.
40. Fabulous at 40.
Fabulous in
That's right.
40.
Yeah, Freddie looks like he's punching in slow motion at me. His punches are very lethargic. It's like they're in slow motion. They have no real,
Yeah, and he's
real
trying,
snap on them.
He's trying to put them together. The heart is still there. He's still willing. It's just
Yeah.
the body doesn't respond.
He's not getting his feet behind it. So if you look at his feet, Hernandez is not getting a twist motion. It's almost like the dance to twist.
Yeah.
So when you throw punches, you use your whole centrifugal force to
He's-
punch.
He's
Right.
just lifting.
Yeah, he's
so
not pivoting on
those-
that back foot.
Yeah.
Those are arm punches that he's throwing.
You're exactly
So there's
right.
no power behind
There's
that.
none.
You need the
But
legs.
he's getting hit with Bohachuk with the arm
Ooh.
punch.
There's a
Got
lot of
that
leverage.
uppercut, yeah.
A lot of leverage behind Bohachuk's punches.
He's got leverage and everything. Look at, I mean, Hernandez got to figure out a way to keep him off. He's got to throw something hard and twist his body to make Bohachuk keep advancing. Because right now, going backwards is much harder than going forward.
Yeah, and
It fatigues you.
Hernandez doesn't seem comfortable pressing forward.
He's not the kind of guy to hold. He's not the kind of guy to grapple.
And so that type of fighter is the type of fighter that gets knocked out by a fighter like Bohachuk.
Yeah, Bohachuk's going to the body and the head. And that's good strategy and good technique.
These are some fearsome exchanges. Freddie Hernandez definitely getting the worst of them.
Yeah, you know, his corner's going to have to look at him real closely. He's taking some real big shots. You know, and we still got a little bit to go. We're halfway mark, so those shots are taking a toll.
Fierce action, and hats off to the old man for hanging in there.
Yeah, I give him credit.
He's hanging in there. It looks like he's going to see the end of the 4th round.
Well, it's still 20 seconds. That's a long time.
It is.
Especially when you're in,
Boxing,
yeah, especially when you're in with
getting hit.
Boachuk.
When you're getting hit, forget it.
He is just throwing with bad intentions to Hernandez's face.
Yeah, Boachuk has definitely
Ooh.
stepped up the
Nice-
intensity
nice hook
and
to
the
the
pace.
face.
He's got to watch for a headbutt
Yeah.
and a cut. That's the major thing they got to watch for here. The headbutt and a cut. You don't want that.
Let's see if Hernandez is.
Don't just dream it, drive it during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event going on now at Ocean Honda. Right now, our deals are so good, you may think you were dreaming. Like a brand new Honda Accord for only $179 per month, or a brand new Civic for just $125 per month. And when you upgrade at Ocean Honda, we'll give you 125% of the book value for your trade. So hurry in and save big during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event at Ocean Honda.
All right, let's see what kind of work Hernandez's corner is doing on his face. And I'm wondering if they're having second thoughts about sending him out here for the 5th round.
You see who's in his corner? Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, and he was a
He walked
warrior.
him out, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's great to have a former fighter in your corner. Sometimes, not so much.
It depends if y'all have a similar style a little bit sometime.
Yeah.
Because he could tell you the wrong thing.
Well, I mean, sometimes fighter-turned-trainers, they still have that fighter's pride, and they don't want to throw in the towel when they should throw in the towel. I mean, we've seen that happen.
Hernandez has a 1-month-old daughter back at home. Just had a baby girl.
No wonder he's still fighting.
Yeah.
And his
Still
son,
having kids.
his son is
And a
here.
girl. A girl, too?
I asked, I go, what do you think if your daughter wants to fight? He's like, no, we don't need 2 bad fighters in the house. That's what he said. Bless his heart.
Yeah, I got a daughter that's actually boxing. She might turn pro. She might fight for Roy Jones.
Oh, that's
My,
awesome.
my daughter Amber Kelly, and
How old is she?
she's actually 28.
Okay.
I'll have to keep
So
an eye
we'll
out.
be 28 in June, exactly. So if she wants to box, I'll let her do it. I give her some information.
Boachuk only 24, 13-0, and looks like he's on his way to notching not only his 14th victory, but his 14th stoppage.
Ooh, nice uppercut that Bohachuk just landed. He got through his guard.
Yeah, those bodies. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yep.
Did that hit his
those
soul?
body shots.
Those,
And he caught me in the middle of my sentence. I said, them body shots are really taking,
Yeah,
chopping up.
we were getting pelted by the sweat from those body shots. I cannot believe Freddie Hernandez made it to his feet.
and they
Wayne
just called
Hedgepath has
it.
seen enough. He's looking at his body language. Wayne is looking into the eyes of the fighter. And then look, Hernandez is walking around not on
He's still
steady
hurt.
legs.
Yeah.
I think Boachuk took his legs
Those
with that body
shots are
attack.
tremendous.
He took his legs a couple rounds ago, but Freddie just kept
Yeah,
going.
at his age right now, those body shots, at 40 years old, body shots, you got to block those. As we look here, you take a look, Boachuk is working the uppercuts inside. The body shot, they got a nice little right to the body and left to the body. I mean, amazing left hook right underneath the rib cage. Look
Watch
at that.
this.
Here
There's
we
going
take
to
a look
be a
at it.
right uppercut, and then from the other side, the left uppercut, then a
There,
right
right,
body
there you
shot,
go,
and then
right
the other
there.
side, a left to
Left
the body.
uppercut, right perfectly landed. I mean, that was a tremendous shot. And at 40 years old, the shot is even worse.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if Hernandez could have taken that fight at 30 years old,
No,
taking those punches.
there.
Boachuk, there was a point, Boachuk sort of took his time, even though he was putting some pressure and some punishment on Hernandez in the opening 2 rounds. Really, after the 3rd round, particularly in round 4, Boachuk stepped up the pressure, the intensity, and the volume with the same power. And that was the beginning of the end for Hernandez.
Yeah, what Boachuk was doing was breaking him down with the body shots. The body shots were tremendous. And that is the way a fighter should fight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially. 1 minute, 40 seconds, round number 5. Referee Wayne Hedgepeth steps in and calls his halt to a bout. Your winner by KO. Now 14-0, 14 straight knockouts. He's still undefeated. El Flaco, Serhii Bo.
So an excellent win for Boachuk, probably the best win of his career so far. It's the first time he's faced a guy who's been to the big dance, fought world champions, fought for a world title, and been in there with all the best fighters over the past 10 to 15 years. And he took care of business against Hernandez. And you see not only the power and the ferocity, the intensity, but you see the technique and you see the tactics with this fight. So maybe Boachuk is one of these fighters where, as his promoter Tom Loeffler with 360 Promotions steps up the level of competition, Boachuk will step up the level of his game. And if that's the case, he will not be a prospect for much longer.
Kevin, did I mention that Boachuk is the New Faces spotlight fighter in the latest issue of Ring Magazine?
I believe that.
He's worthy, right?
Yeah, he's a guy that can do a lot of things. He's got the height to move him in weight, number one. Number two, he's a tremendous puncher, right? And he's in a middleweight division. So let me tell you something. That's a lot right now, and they need a guy like him to take the place of G, Canelo, and the guys that have come before them.
It's true. It is a very fertile division.
And I think Tom Loeffler is going to have to search for somebody really good to take this young man the distance.
Freddie El Real Hernandez, thank you for the performance tonight.